Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're connecting from. I'm excited to have you on this show today. Today is Morning Matters live, and I am so excited to have you. We have a special guest with us. Her name is Tracy Wilson. But before I bring her on board, I just want to introduce myself and also introduce what the show is all about before I bring her on board. My name is Sandra Oko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, Coach, Speaker, and Trainer. I'm a member of the Toastmaster, has the Vice President Public Relations. Also a best-selling author and IT sales expert of over 20 years in the IT industry. And just recently, I got the Presidential Life Award, and I'm excited to be alive this evening and having my guests with me and my viewers. Thank you for being on this show. And what is Money Matter Life? Money Matter Life is a movement. It's a movement where we'll try to educate everyone financially how we can be in control of our funds, make, manage, and multiply money. We've been called to multiply. We've been called to be fruitful. We've been called to amass and and be a blessing to others. And so, with the Money Matters Life, we talk about savings. We talk about investment vehicles you can put your money into because you cannot afford to leave your money in the bank as savings. Inflation would override it, and also means by which you can make and multiply money, life insurance, health insurance, businesses you can do in the 21st century, and much more. And today we have a guest who will be taking us on a ride, telling us on how she started living life and, transforming her life. And it is said that there is no man that is self-made. God, help everyone. And in a way, how does God reach out to us? God sends men to help us. And today we have a guest who will be taking us today. And before I bring her on board, I'd like to just shoot a commercial before I read about. So I'm so excited to have Tina on board. I just want to quickly get our resume so I can read it out. Tina Wilson is a life and health coach who specializes in empowering women over 40 who have experienced tragedies or traumas, drawing from personal experience. She guides women on a transformative journey, employing the 5 pillars of mindset, outset, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. And a mind, body, and soul awakening program unlocks their true potential. She runs an online fitness boutique studio and is a motivational speaker who uses her voice to inspire and motivate audiences worldwide. As a successful coach, fitness professional, and podcaster, author, and active participant in platforms including Clubhouse and Toastmaster International, our unwavering commitment to the act of transformation is embodied through a profound dedication to revolutionizing lives through the prism of health and wellness, drawing from the 5 pillars I earlier mentioned. So the next person you get to see is our guest. So glad to have you, ma'am.
Hey, girl.
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
how you
welcome.
doing? How you feeling?
Very good. I'm excited to have you. I know that,
Yay.
yeah, there were a lot of challenges, but thank God we're able to make it tonight. I'm so excited. So
Yes,
welcome,
thank you
welcome,
so
welcome.
much for having me. Thank you for introducing me to your tribe.
Yeah, it's so great to have you. I'm excited. I'm, so it's all, the floor is all yours. Is there anything I said
Okie
or is there
dokie.
anything I did?
So first of all, I am Tina, otherwise known as StarzTina, as you mentioned, and I came up with the name StarzTina. First of all, forgive me for being in a car and not at my desk, totally in place. My day has been a little overwhelmed. I missed my flight my first flight, so I had to take a second flight, and so I'm actually on my way home now. I was supposed to have been home hours ago. So first of all, forgive me for being in the car, but the
It's
show must
okay.
go on, right? Show
It
must go on.
must. I appreciate. And thank you for your resilient spirit. Never
Yes,
say
yes.
no.
Exactly. You got to keep your word. It's all about your word, right? The four agreements, be impeccable with your words. So I thought of stars. Someone actually said to me, star, because I love giving people nicknames that have to do with their personality. And they said star. And this was years ago. And I was like, I don't know if I want that as a nickname because star is like really big as a name. You have to live up
Yeah.
to that. And a few years ago, I realized, well, Tina, you want big things. And I always thought of reach for the moon. If you fall, you're still amongst the stars. So that's how I came up with StarzTina. I actually started, Sandra, in fitness. Fitness is my passion. I love it, love it, love it. Did I say love it? I absolutely love it. And I actually started in fitness because I was overweight. My mom was like, Tina, you're getting kind of fat. You don't really know when you're getting fat, right, ladies? It just kind of creeps up on your thighs and your hips and your stomach. It's like, so when she said this, I was just like, okay, maybe I should start trying to lose weight. I did a whole bunch of things. I got focused and lost about 60 pounds. I got super, super, super laser beam focused and wanted to help other people. And the more I did it, Sandra, I realized my why for fitness was because my father passed away at the age of 49 from a massive heart attack. I was uber close to my father. So that took me down a downward spiral. My grandmother died at a young age, and a lot of people I know have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, all of these diseases that can be prevented with diet and exercise. So that's why I dove headfirst into fitness. Rewind to 7.5 years ago, the biggest traumedy of my life occurred. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When these two energies come together, life changing experiences occur. And I truly believe that God is giving me various traumedies over my life to prepare me for the biggest traumedy of my life. 7.5 years ago, it was a Friday night. And it was a great day. Everything in my life was doing good. My daughter was a dancer for the Nick City Nick City basketball team. My son had a successful sneaker store. He actually had two sneaker stores. And I was in the best shape of my life. I was teaching fitness full time and I was hanging out with my girlfriends one Friday night and I got a phone call, Sandra. And someone said, Miss Tina, something happened to Molly. That was the nickname we gave him. And I didn't think of anything of it at first because I was like, something's always happening to him. And then my daughter called me hysterical. She's like, get to Rahway now. So I raced to the town of Rahway where his shop was. It was Friday night. It was very cold. It was like 20 degrees. It was dark. And when I got to the block, I noticed it was blocked off with yellow and black caution tape. And when I looked down the street, I noticed there were about 40, 50 people just standing up outside still. So I ran down the street. I had no idea what was going on. Have you ever been in a situation where something's happening and you're like, I don't know what's going on? Your mind is blank. I was blank with what was going on. And then I saw the shop door and I went to pull the door open and a police officer stopped me because there were ambulances, there were cop cars. The street was lit up with lights from that. And he said, you can't go in there. So I'm walking around asking everyone, where's my son? Where's Jamal? Where is he? And nobody's saying anything. It actually felt like I was in a movie or something because nobody's saying anything. They were still. And then I finally went up to this one police officer and he was standing next to a young lady. And I said, where is my son? And he looked at me. He paused and he said, I'm sorry, miss, your son is dead. And at that moment, I realized my life changed forever. I screamed, I threw my phone down. But then I realized I had to make a decision. Was I going to go down that dark, dreary road of depression, anxiety, just not so good? Or was I going to move forward to love and happiness and all that great stuff? Now, as I mentioned earlier, I had gone through many traumedies in my life. So I was kind of prepared for this right here. Let's fast forward to today, 7.5 years later. I had my mind, body, and soul awakening. And what did I do? I did mindset, yoga, strength, exercise. I did all these things to push me through that pain. And that's where I am today. And I actually launching my book October 28th. I don't know if you can see it here. It's called No More Traumedy. And this is a book that I created for women or men. Anyone can actually use it who've gone through some type of trauma, whether it be big, whether it be small. And it tells a little bit about my story. But the major thing about this book, Sandra, is it gives you exercises, strategies, tools, and tips to push through any type of trauma. Now, we're talking about money today, right? I'm going to give you some three tips I have. I'll pause if you want to like ask a question or something. But over these 7.5 years, my life totally changed. So, I'll pause right there for a second. I can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking.
That's a trauma. Oh my God. That is a trauma. How did you get through? How did you go through it?
How did I get through it? One day at a time. All the different things in the book. As I mentioned, there's about 20 things in there that I did. When it first happened, the next day, we actually went to the shop, the sneaker store, and opened up the store because my son had that go get 'em mentality. I guess he took after his mom, seeing me my whole life be a hustler. So we're like, he'd want the store open. And I just thought about him sharing your story. That's actually why I got into Toastmasters, Sandra. When it happened, I didn't want people to go through what I went through. So my daughter and I together, we kept sharing his story. We told the news people, we told anyone who would listen. And I realized all the great stuff he had done in his life. For example, I had people coming up to me saying, because of your son, I went back to college. Now I'm a doctor. Because of your son, I'm opening up my own nail salon. Like all these great things that were happening. And it made me feel really good. Like his death wasn't in vain. And someone told me that they were hanging out one night and he said if he ever died, he wanted a nonprofit named after himself. Now he was 21 when this happened. Who thinks like that? Who thinks about if I die? Because he said that my daughter and I together, we created a nonprofit under his name called the Molly Gaines Program. We had middle school boys on the weekends. They did, so it was inspired when he was a little boy. I used to take him to this place called the Mr. Rogers Program. And I was a single mom. So every weekend he would go there and they taught him life skills. So I wanted to create a program for young men. I wanted them to learn how to treat a lady, like open the door, tie their tie, cook food. But then I had other professionals come in also, like lawyers and doctors. And then I had them do community activities. I took them whitewater rafting, camping, just things they really didn't experience in the past. So because we were diving into all these activities, it really kept us focused. And my thing was, Sandra, was I didn't want his death to be in vain. It's like I saw other moms who were evil and angry at the world. Like I had my ups and downs with God. I'm not going to lie to you, but I was just like, I don't want to be like that. I'm going to make a change. And that leads to the first tip that I was going to mention, whether it's money, finances, relationships, begins right here. It's mindset. And
Sure.
I made a decision. I was not going to be miserable. This is what it was. My daughter was like, Mom, he wouldn't want to see you sad. My son would not want me laying in bed, being change my mindset and realize he would not want that. All right.
Awesome.
You there?
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh my God. That's a strong word. Being able to pull through trauma is a great one. That's a great strength for you because we have a lot of people when they go through trauma, there are two things that happens in trauma. It either leaves you bitter or leaves you better. But I would tell you, losing your son left you better. That's what he did. Because, and sometimes people, it is said that hurting people hurt people. People go out there hurting others. But having a mindset of wanting not to hurt others because you went through wrong and difficult moments, that's a great one. It takes the mind of Christ. It takes you having the mind of the people, to be being a blessing rather than you giving them evil because you went through evil, you went through pains. Yes, I know that there is no gain if there is no pain. But beyond that, helping others, and that's what leadership is all about. Knowing it and showing it to
Yes.
others, but not knowing it and allowing others to fall into the same pitfalls you fell into. That's not it. We're meant to show others how to go through life, even if we fell. Help them to be better. And that's the dream of every leader, wanting your mentees to be better or your children to be greater than you. That's a great one, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate that word. That's a great word for any mother, anyone, going through one tragedy, one trauma. You can always go through. It's all a mindset issue. You either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A fixed mindset will put you in a pity state, pity party. You're depressed. You want people to come around you to say sorry and to show it, but that's not it. But
Exactly.
looking beyond
Exactly.
what that
Exactly.
trauma is, having a mindset that this will lead me better than I was in the past. And I appreciate that word,
Something
not allowing your son's death to put you down. You want to say something?
exactly. So as I mentioned with the mindset, I want to add one more thing to the mindset piece that I mentioned before I go to my next step. For mindset, for me, I believe in visualization, vision board, just really seeing and thinking of what you want. And I did that with my kids a lot. Like, where do you see yourself 3 to 6 months? Where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? If we're not
Mm,
thinking about the future of how we want to live our life, you're never going to live the life that you want. So when it comes
yeah,
to mindset, you have to be crystal clear with what it is that you want. That's the first thing when it comes to making extra money, is having that mindset. And if you don't know how much something costs, for example, if you say, I want X amount of car, or I want a house, or I want a boat, or I want a plane. Well, do you know how much it costs to have a plane? Do you know how much the gas is? Do you know how much it is to get married? Like, all these things, if you really want them, you have to figure them out. The second tip I wanted to share with you regarding finances, especially if you've gone through a trauma, because that's traumedy, because that's my thing, right? Is
yeah.
making sure you have a strong tribe around you. And I say it all the time, your
Support
vibe is
system.
your tribe. Your vibe is
Yeah.
your vibration. When you walk into a room, are you lighting up the room with energy, or are you sucking the energy? The cool thing about the tribe, Sandra, is collaboration. Collaboration is the new revolution, or shall I say, is the revolution. Because when you're collaborating with other people, you're building yourself up, you're building that up. That's why I was very grateful to do this, this interview with you today, because I get to share with my people who you are, and then I can share my stories with your people. So when you're collaborating, it definitely helps you when it comes to making money. You don't know what you don't know. So we're having a conversation. I'll say, hey, well, did you know that you could do a podcast, and on the podcast you can get sponsors, and you can get guests to pay you to be on, blah 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 blah, whatever it is that I know. And you may say, well, Tina, I did this event and I found out that I got blah blah blah. So it's very important that you surround yourself with people that are doing the things that you want to do. If you want to be successful, guess what? Hang out with successful people, right? And we know
Yeah.
the 5 people you hang around, you all probably make the same type of money,
Yeah.
drive the same type of car, talk the same, everything the same. So you have to lift up a little bit higher. And I like to add a little more to that, Sandra. You want to have different pockets of your 5 people. Like, you may have 5 people that are spiritual friends. You may have 5 people you go to the gym with. You may have 5 people that you talk about money with. You want to have different pockets because different people have different personalities. Would you agree, disagree? Talk to me.
No, I do agree, and that's why I talk about leveraging. Leverage is the key, because what you know, I don't know, and what I know, you don't know. When we come together, the compounding effect is a lot more, and that's why the Bible says, it said, one shall put 1,000 to flight. So when two come together, they shall put 10,000 to flight. I can tell you what arithmetic equation got you 10,000. If one does 1,000, two should be doing 2,000. But it says when two come together, and that's why it says iron sharpeneth iron. So would a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. When I come, if I'm not strong, that's strong. When I meet with Tina, Tina will sharpen me up, and I can become like Tina or even better than Tina. And that's why I tell people collaboration is the key, is the team, and this is the season for collaboration. Everything you do and everything you would ever be lies on relationship. And that's why I tell people, I said, what is relationship? It is the ship we ride on to destiny. And it is said, everything you would ever be is locked in the relationships you keep. And that's why a lot of times you hear people say, your network is your net worth. The people
Yes.
you hang
Yeah.
around form the money you have. And that's why I tell people, I said, the friends you have is greater than the money you have. Because money cannot buy you friends, but
Yes.
your friends can raise money for you.
Yes.
So I tell people, I said, forget about money. Money is good to have money. but money cannot buy you friends. Just as relationship can buy you money, buy you support. And the kind of support system you find yourself is key. What kind of support system do you have around you? Are they naysayers? Are they people that would help you become the best version of yourself? Are they people that would challenge you to become, everything God has called you to be, to harness your potential? So the people you hang around is key to your success in life. And that's why you tell me, show me three people you hang around, and I'll tell you what your tomorrow looks like. Because it should tell
I like
me
that. You
the
said
kind
three,
of
not
things you
five, three.
discard. Yeah. Just tell me because it tells me the people you talk to. Tell me the things you watch or you read or you study or you open your heart to. Then I can tell you what your life will be in 6 months. So I tell people there are three things you need to do. The things you allow into your heart. That's the phone, the book you read, the TV screen time you watch, whatever movies you watch, whatever thing you watch. Are they building you up to your goals? Are they driving you in the paths that you want to be in 5 to 10 years' time? The people you hang around, are they naysayers? Are they people that talk you down? Are they people that cheer you up to doing more things, to challenge you to do greater things? The environment you grow in, it is said that when you plant a maize or you plant anything, if it's in an environment where the environment is not conducive, it's going to be stunted. It's going to die. So whatever environment you find yourself, if the environment is not right for you, then it says if you cannot beat them, join them. So you either beat them or leave that circle. No, that's it.
I love it. I love it.
You have to make a choice. And that's why I tell people, I said, one greatest thing God gave us is the power of choice. So the choices, whatever I am today or whatever Tina is a sum total of the choices you've made in the last 10 years, in the last 40 years of your life. So same with me, whatever choices I have made has made me. So the choices we make either make us or mar us. So we have to choose what are the choices we're making. And if finding your life, if you find that you're not living the kind of life you want to live, then you need to change the choices you make.
I love it. I have a third tip for you. So the first thing I said in regarding finances is mindset. You have to have the right mindset. The second thing I
Sure.
said was the tribe, the people you're around. And the third thing I want to share is 7 streams of income. And that's reframing how you think because we all can have 7 streams of income. First of all, I like to think of the easiest way. What do you like? What do you enjoy? There are so many products out there. And if you believe in something, that is something you can do. So, for example, I love Arbonne products because of their skincare and their nutrition. I also use ketones. Someone else may use Mary Kay. Someone else may do the tea stuff, whatever. So that can be one stream of income that you have. There's also, if someone has like a regular 9 to 5 job, I always say, do what you love. Because if you're doing things that you enjoy, it doesn't feel like work. I hate when people say, oh, I got to go on vacation. That's the worst thing in the world. My life is my vacation and I'm just living in joy. And there's so many other things like get a financial advisor, talk to people. There's the stocks, there's these little petty things there. There's so many variety of things that you can do. Make some bracelets. During COVID, one of my bracelets broke and I went to Michael's to buy some more and I ended up making bracelets. So I was selling bracelets at one point, you know, affiliate programs. I don't know if you guys heard of like Cash App or Venmo or all these companies. But when you refer
Sure.
people, you get money. And you put all these little streams together, that's just extra money that you can do. So that's the third thing I wanted to share. You have to have a different type of mindset when it comes to what you want and having plans and goals and the creed. She wants me to read the creed. So let's see. I'm going to read. Oh, yes. I love my partner. You see my partner right here? That's my girl right there.
Hi.
As I drive with no. So I want to read something for you guys. This is apart from the book. This is what I'm doing for all my interviews. I'm just reading something from the book. So the Molly Creed. In the wake of my son's murder, as people shared fond memories, a surge of stories highlighting his selfless acts surfaced. He had dedicated himself to the Boy Scouts, spoke to young boys in mentoring groups, and youth outreach efforts. Curious about his motivating words, I spoke to his friends, and together we crafted the Molly Creed. In honor of Jamal, my daughter and I established the Molly Gaines program a boys nonprofit where the Molly Creed serves as our guiding philosophy. Allow me to introduce to you the Molly Creed. So these are words that my son said to his friends, his workers, because he was that person that was motivating him.
Oh my
I will
God.
be legit. I will be a man of my word. I will do the right thing. I will have good customer service. I will present myself correctly. I will respect my money. I will take care of my family. I will,
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry,
I
then.
can barely say, I will strive to do better. I would do things on time. I will make smart decisions. So those are some of the things that he told the people around him. And I remember one night he had a safe because he wanted to put a safe for the money in the car, and he was standing over the safe. And I took a picture of him because he was always talking to my daughter and I, telling us, "You guys got to do better. You got to work harder." He was always that. Think of me times 10, and that was him. So those are words he would tell people, and I want to share that with your people. If you want something, if you have a dream in your head, like God put that seed in there for you. Stop being lazy. Water the seed and do it. That's
You
all
have
I
to
have
back
to
it with
say. Drop the mic.
actions. You said?
I said I'm good. Drop the mic.
Yeah, you have to have the right mindset and you have to be go getting. You have to, back whatever seed, whatever potentials that God has given you with actions. You can sit in and say, "Oh, I'm gifted, I have all the skills." And you're not doing anything about it. No. You've got to back it up with actions. It is said faith without works is dead. Yes, you can have the dream, you can have great potential, but if you're not backing it with actions, then that faith is dead. Then that dream will come to a halt. The meaning the dream will not leave. But when you back it with actions, with the help of God, you'll be able to achieve and even go beyond. And a lot of times when we go through difficult moments, we're not going through those moments because of ourselves. We're doing that because of all this coming. And that's why I'm sure your son had a mindset. He knew that I was leaving, but I wasn't leaving for myself. I was leaving to inspire others. I was leaving to help others. And that's what we call it. And that's why I often will tell you leadership is influence. Leadership is service. Leadership is sacrifice. Those are the things that you will see in the words of your son that you just told me. I just wrote some of them down. I said I was going to ask you to send it to me because that's a powerful word for a young boy, a young man, having a mindset of knowing that I'm going to live by my words. I'm going to back my words by action. I'm going to do things right. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to take care of my workers. I'm going to have good customer service. That's a great thought for him for his age. That's a great one. And I want to tell you that beyond him dying, he's left a mark. It's not how long you live, but how well he
Yes.
lived well. So what about if you have somebody living for 50, 60 years and they make an impact? And they make an impact. That would be like just do and go. But
Yeah.
he lived that short and he was able to make an impact in his time amongst his friends, his siblings, the mom, and the people around him. That's a great one. I lost somebody very dear too. But beyond that, she was a very great person. She was an angel, I will tell you. She does things right. I was like, God. But who are we to question God? We can't. So beyond that is how well they live. What mark have they put left in the sand of times? Such that when you remember more, what would you say he did? So what really matter is how well we're able to live. And that's where, the life of significance come in. A lot of people are striving to live. But beyond living, they become successful even after being successful. They tend to think, oh, success is all about me. But beyond it, we need to leave that circle of being successful to living a life of significance, where we not give back and say, okay, how do I make the people around me smile? How do I put smiles on the people's face? How can I be a blessing to others? And that's what life is, because I tell people, I say success to different people means different things. Success is a journey. Success is not a destination. And if you see success as a destination, you'll begin to crumble. But when you see success as a journey, you've not arrived. You're still on that journey. And beyond that, living a life of significance. When you mentioned having a right mindset, it is great. Yes, you might have great potentials, great gifts. And I really know what God created and He didn't make, with so much skills. We all have skills in us. But taking out time to think and look inward. What is it that God has made me to do? What is it that He has called me to do? And that's why I said everything we would ever be, everything we would ever need to be a great success is within us. Is when we begin to look inward. And that's why sometimes it's good to have a quiet moment so that we can have some time to look inward, some time to talk, have self talk, sometimes to say, okay, this is what God has called me to do. Or just some quiet moment to ask God, what do you want me to be? Or what is my passion, what you're calling me to do? Because a lot of times you find out what you would do with ease, without no one coercing you, what you would do joyfully, even without no money, no pay, no salary, then that is your passion. So you want to say
Yes.
something?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just so grateful that you brought me on and I got to share. And I hope my tips have helped you and your people and your tribe. So thank you
Yeah.
again.
Yes, I would. I don't want to keep you longer than necessary. I know that you've had a long day. I told you I was gonna make it short. Normally, I probably would go for 5 minutes, 1 hour, but I'm gonna be cutting this short. And I want to also thank God for joining messages. Sometimes when we think a mistake or we think delay is not denial, and you don't know what happened, why you missed your first flight. The Bible says everything is working together for our good. So I want to encourage you, missing your first flight and still trying and making it out to share with my audience. I'm so, so, so grateful. I am so blessed to know you, in your tight schedule, in your painful moments, you're still able to smile and, and talk to my audience. I'm really humbled, very humbled. So I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you. I also want to thank your friend who's giving you a ride. Thank you so much for making our time to join in and sharing your tips with us. I think when you're better relaxed, maybe before the end of the year, I'm going to bring you back on board because I know that you have
Yes.
so much inside of you that you're yet to tap into, and because I know that you're under duress, but you're still talking. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I also want to thank
Thank
our
you.
viewers who have been on this show. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for supporting myself and my guest today, Tina Wilson. Thank you so much. And till we meet in our next episode, let's go out there, learn all we need to learn, make, manage, and multiply money, and be a blessing. That God is not giving us to amass unto ourselves, but to be a blessing to others, to give to others. And it's in giving that you have more. It's not in hoarding. I've seen people who hoarded and they tend towards poverty. That's what it, but people who give had so much. So let's go out there and be a people, a money making machine. Make money,
Yes.
multiply
Make
money,
money.
and
Make
manage
money.
it. Yeah, because you find that a lot of people leave money in a bank. And with inflation and the things going on, you find that inflation will consume them and that money would not be able to do anything. And so that's why we said put your money in other investment vehicles that can be making money for you. Passive income when you're sleeping, when you're not able to work, that is when you're really making money. So I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, and I
Bye and
also
have a
want to
blessed
let you
evening.
know if you or your people want to find me, they can go to my website. I am Stars Tina, Stars with a Z. It's like that on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. I am Stars Tina. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
soon.
Bye, darling.
Bye bye.